part of Thanksgiving I do like, which is the turkey with a frame around his NFT. Says, wait, I'm not just a turkey, I'm also an NFT, a thing that you don't understand, but that your friends have told you to invest in and definitely not eat. I don't know why that strikes me so funny, but I truly enjoy that. All right, my friends. So today we are going to dive in because I know that there's an awful lot to talk about. We are blessed to have Jessee Krieger. How are you, buddy? Good to see you again.
Hey, good to see everybody.
And obviously, Jessee is one of the 4 Americans in all of the United States who is not celebrating Thanksgiving today, and is here to share with us. So we will get the recording out to the rest of the crew ASAP. But while we're here, the beautiful part about this is Jessee is going to step us through NFTs. Now, I know, looking at you, many of you have been on the conversations about NFTs. That we started, goodness gracious, I guess about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, in our first sort of let's call it panel conversations. And since that time, Jessee and I have been working diligently at, of course, the launch of the NFTs Gone Wild. We have done a whole bunch of support calls on Fridays in terms of the Freedom Fridays. We have produced our own NFTs, which have been moving and shaken to some degree, and a fair amount of technical challenges for people trying to get a wallet connected. Michelle, I'm not going to recommend or say anybody's names, but you just know, and I'm teasing Michelle a little bit, but just know that you are not alone. So that there are technological hurdles and bumps with this, and it is one of the reasons why we're dedicated to, number one, continuing to support you in that process, bringing Jessee to answer any of the questions. And what we hope is that your sort of container or your context of what an NFT is, what cryptocurrency is, how the blockchain works, its impact on your future business is going to unfold. Because Jessee saw it first, and when he explained it to me about what is going to happen in our joint venture world and joint venture communities with smart contracts, are very early in the stages, obviously, it's going to change things, and in a pretty substantial and significant manner. So on that note, I just want to say, number one, Jessee, I truly appreciate you, your team, your wisdom, your what I'm going to call leading edge. What is the word? Being a vanguard in this space, and I've totally enjoyed learning, with and from and through you. So on that note, gang, please, and because a bunch of Americans are on Thanksgiving, you have to give like an extra special round of applause and welcome to Jessee to serve and support us with this idea of what are NFTs and how do they work. Give them a round of applause.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. Thank you. And good to see some familiar faces here. And this can be open discussion format as well as, presentation. So what I think I'll do to start with is give you the little overview, top down, and then we'll look at a launch that we've got going on right now. And we can check up on Jay's collection. Jay, maybe you can enable screen sharing too, so I can pop that on at one point. Yeah, let me see that. Oh, there we go. Great. So let's first pop in here and just look at the JVology Live collection. So for anybody that hasn't seen this or seeing this for the first time, we set up the JVology Live 2021 NFT collection, which is numbered 1 through 20, and all were priced at 0.04 Ethereum. And the idea here was to demonstrate like proof of concept for JV applications of NFTs. How can you buy a ticket to an event as an NFT, sell it to somebody else? JVology gets a percent of that, and you've now transacted an NFT and starting to get that under your thumb and under your fingers. And so each of these are identical and unique in that you can click reveal unlockable content. And now, only if you're the owner of this NFT, can you see the resulting form. And on this form is where you actually put in your name and email and information to claim your ticket and the associated bonuses. So top down, an NFT lets you sell or transact a ticket to an event, a training course, access to a community or membership, and reveal the way that they actually get into that course, get into that event, into that community in the unlockable content here. So let me pause there. Any thoughts, questions, observations as we've put together Jay's JVology Live collection and even NFTs Gone Wild, the sister collection? right, Jay?
Yeah, the
Where
sister
each,
collection is aimed at folks who are in our premium programs where we wanted to give you, frankly, an NFT for free or as close to free as we could possibly do it, which is why it's the 001. Just to sort of incent and I don't know, incent and encourage the folks who are already in premium programs to play along. And it is a fascinating process in terms of how the pieces fit and how they play together. I'm totally inspired by this process. And, I just got to be clear that in terms of teasing Michelle a little bit, in terms of the wallets and those sorts of things, it has currently a higher friction component to it in terms of wallets and cryptos and transfers and all those sorts of things. But the thing that I just want to encourage folks to do, because I had like 2 texts this morning, it's like, can't I just give you my credit card? And the answer to that question is, of course, you can always give us your credit card. But the point is to learn this and to get it set up for your future. And if you're not going to, let us hold your hand to learn and get it set up for the future, when are you going to do it? Because the honest goodness truth is our purpose here, our purpose is to get you up and running in that. So I said to them, yes, you can send me this, but you still need to get this set up. So be at the Freedom Fridays, all those sorts of things will still help you get that through. Anyway, that's my only comment is this is exciting and it is still a significant degree of friction for people to get it navigated for those who are uninitiated, which I considered myself 3 weeks ago.
yeah. And so I'll put this into context. Like, let's zoom out for a second. I pulled something up here to share. So, here's one of the kind of leading NFT tokens, Decentraland, Mana. Maybe you've heard of it, seen it in the news. But look at this. If you want an illustration of what's happening and where we're going with NFTs and the players that are positioned and getting positioned in the NFT space, here's this whole project went live the beginning of this year. Oh, sorry, let me do all. Sorry, this whole project went live in 2017, but for years was just in a development and a building mode. It was late last year, beginning of this year, the NFT narrative started. And then guess what happened right around here? Any guesses?
That would be where what's his name sold the at Sotheby's. Beeple sold at Sotheby's.
Nope, that's probably more around here. But
Okay.
here is where Facebook changed their entire name to Meta. And if you don't know the implication of that, 2 billion active users on Facebook are now part of the metaverse. The metaverse is the digital environment where NFTs can be used to represent video games, your own identity, brands, having storefronts, having concerts, having an art gallery in the metaverse. So they make that announcement, and now all of the companies that are in the NFT space are skyrocketing. Here's another one, Avalanche, which just a few short months ago has gone up like a rocket. Axie Infinity, maybe you've heard of, a play to earn game where people can literally play the game and build their NFTs value. And look at this, people are earning money just playing games to build the NFT value. And here's the token for it. So I just want to illustrate. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to add to that. So I actually bought a team of Axies. They were the first NFTs that I ever bought. And the idea was to have my kids who like video games, those sorts of things, play the game and earn some money. And it turns out that the game there's significant strategy there. Like, frankly, both my kids and I got our asses kicked.
Yeah, just because it's play to earn doesn't mean it's like, oh, just log in and get free money. But what it does is there's a whole community of people that love video games. Esports itself is in some ways more popular than physical sports. So this trend is overlaid with what's happening in that space. But let's tune in for a second, and I'll give you a little overview of a launch that we've got, so you can see how this looks in practice.
Jesse,
yes.
can I ask you to put something in context, at least for me? because I've heard this a couple of times where you're saying Facebook changed their name and you're like, oh, this is great. And this is what it means for the NFTs. Help me understand like what's the connection between the two,
Sure.
please.
Facebook has what, 2 billion active users. So people already have an account. They already have their profile on Facebook, maybe for years and years of history. So now Facebook is ushering them all into the metaverse, which is just a way to say an online world, a collection of different online environments where NFTs are assets.
Okay.
Like you can buy land in the metaverse on Decentraland, like we looked at. And then on that land, you can either rent it to a brand that wants to do a showcase. You could rent it to an artist that wants to do a concert. You can literally transact in these digital environments, and NFTs are a crucial part of that.
Okay. I appreciate that bridge for me because I understood metaverse, but I was like, change the
And the
name.
reason
Like,
it's significant is because like for the last 3-4 years, there's been a subset community of people working on these projects,
mhm.
but now it's bursting out into the open. So it's like the convergence of casual users like Facebook, video gamers can use NFTs and realize value and transact value outside of even a financial system.
Mhm.
Can I add to that? Because my friend Lee Richter, who has been a leading sort of proponent and participant in this community, where this really landed for me was this. Think of it as 3 words: physical world, the metaverse, and virtual reality. Okay, and they all, you all know I love my Venn diagrams. They are all distinct worlds that have an overlapping component. So think of it from this perspective: is that an NFT is perhaps one of the few tools that actually overlaps these 3 universes. And just to be clear about this, most of us are not digital natives on this. We're of a certain age. As I look around, we are pretty physical oriented in the world, feet on the ground. My kids aren't. Their kids are actually going to have 3 different lives and 3 different environments in which they exist, play, earn, and create. And an NFT, even today, has the capacity to say, hey, this NFT lets you go online and order a physical pair of, I'm going to say Air Jordans. I'm just making that up. But in addition to that, that NFT also has the capacity to have a pair of Air Jordans in your house at your metaverse location. And when you go play basketball in the VR game with your friends from all over the world, you can slip on your Air Jordans in virtual reality. And the NFT bridges those 3 worlds. And the truth of the matter is, my grandchildren are going to have entire lives in different worlds that I can't even wrap my freaking head around today, and I'm just beginning to understand. So Facebook saying, hey, we're opening, for all intents and purposes, it's like we're opening the metaverse. It's been there for a long time, but it's now, the rest of the world is like, oh shit, there's a whole nother place in which I could exist, play, interact, and do shit. Does that help put more context to it?
That helps a lot. I love your Venn diagrams because I think of Vin Diesel first, but then your diagram second. But I love that because what comes to mind for me is for those of us, like you said, that are of a certain age, even though we look younger, we can open up the services to a whole different generation that we might not have opened our services up to before because of the
That's for
platform
sure.
that it's offered on, right? And so that is what just came to me with that. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
And Jessee, can I give one more example? Just because you referred to Axie Infinity, and honest to goodness, up to like 5 weeks ago, I would have never comprehended what that meant. Raise your hand if you get a sense of what Axie Infinity is. 1, 2, okay. I'm going to share my screen real quick just for this. Juliet, you just said it exactly. Holy shit! Like there isn't enough to deal with in this world. Now we're gonna have to deal with shit in 3 different worlds.
Oh, that was Elizabeth, actually.
Oh, was it Elizabeth?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you were exactly
I'm
correct.
pretty sure she said it for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate it.
Okay, so I just want to share real quick. So this is the Axie Infinity Marketplace. And again, just trying to go back to this value, think about this is a game. These little guys here are what are called Axies. They are actually each NFTs. I bought 3 of them. You need 3 of them for a team to go and play the game. I got my ass kicked. The only benefit to this is when I bought them, Ethereum went up like mad. When I sold them, I still made money, even though we sucked at the game. So there's just know that there's a whole piece. But these guys do battle like Pokemon in a virtual world, doing virtual adventures, and the quality of their team makes all the difference in the world. And you can just, here's the part that I want you to understand. So, you know, this one is $115, but they go up to hundreds of thousands. And let's just do the dashboard really fast because I want you to see what this means. Because I always thought it's like, so that they're playing a dumb game. This is the last 24 hours. There's been 87,585 sales of little Axies to the tune of $26.61 million. And if we just go 30 days, $705 million of little Axies being sold and transacted in less than a month. Now, for those of you that know anything about like junior capital exchanges and the TSX and those sorts of things, that's frankly oftentimes more volume than actual publicly traded shares, for Christ's sake. So this is a real thing, even though it's hard for me to wrap my head around. Anyway, okay, I'll be quiet now. But when somebody told me that this existed, I did not understand it at all until I got to go play it a little bit. I'll be quiet now, at least for 30 seconds.
No, that's great. I mean, the fun part is there's something new every day with this stuff. And
got a question.
I'm going to give you guys like a 3-minute overview of how does this work in practice on a smaller scale, accessible level, instead of like hundreds of millions of dollars in a month. That is the volume of what's happening out there, actually much more. But like in terms of like partnering with creators and rolling out a project, this is an example of a site and a NFT launch that's going on with 111 hand-drawn pieces of art. And then each one includes a certificate of authenticity, access to a community, whitelist for future launches, and personal connection with the creator. But then there's a super rare set and an auction that includes a physical sculpture, the signed original artwork, and some other cool bonuses. So then we're rolling it out in stages, and the first stage of 25 of the serious and cool people NFTs, 5 super rares, and 1 auction is underway right now. And so it's with that we can actually look at the collection itself. And here we can see that some of them are still available. And then if we go down, there's some that have already been sold. And so we're about 50% through the collection. So if you look at one in particular, it's this kind of cute image with a little story, right? So like this guy's little story is 38 years old, airline pilot, once got in big trouble for not paying attention while he flew past his destination while doing shots with the co-pilot and crew. Mile High Club. The FAA was not impressed, but he's still a winner with the girls. So for some people, you know, that's cute or funny. And it's a part of this identity that has been created with this collection. And then here's an example of the auction. So you can buy them individually, but then this one, you have to make a bid and ultimately win. And then the artist will do a hand-drawn painting, plus turn it into a physical sculpture that you can display, have at your house, and like a personal thank you video. So the starting price for that is like right around $1,000. So then when you look at all of that together, now let's see if I share my screen over to here.
The creativity of that, the sculpture and the drawing and the like that's a cool combination.
And now can you guys see, oh wait, we're on the your collection. Let me do a stop share. And then I want to show you that as these are being sold and become available with individual owners, then they become part of the collection. And now we're on OpenSea. So instead of PowerFan, where we're issuing and selling them, here's the collection. And you can see that one of them here is available for sale. This one, somebody bought it and now it's available for sale, definitely at a higher price than they bought it. And so now you can see that there's a floor price on a collection based on the lowest price that one of the collection is listed for. So that's true with Jay's NFTs, right? With JVology, if somebody started selling one of those NFTs for like 0.5 Ethereum or 1 Ethereum, you would see on the collection that there's a transaction volume that's going up, a new owner in the collection. So you can actually see like different details into the collection, which pieces are listed, which ones you can buy now versus which ones, you know, just have an owner associated with them. And that's how it goes from doing a launch, like here's the first launch, to now people are buy, selling, trading amongst themselves. And to bring this all full circle, every transaction flows back a royalty to the creator. So if you do the mental math, you want to get your collection out there, get them into people's hands, and then incentivize them to buy and sell them amongst themselves at increasingly higher prices. And as you do that, the JV implications, the affiliate revenue and income stream implications become just amazing and instantaneous. Like when that transaction happens, it's not like wait till 30 days and then we'll do our accounting and send you your JV statement. It's right then, straight to your wallet. And, you know, of course, from a marketing and business owning perspective, that just makes things easier and it speeds up the transaction cycle if you don't have to wait to get money or to send money. So, Jay, any thoughts, questions there?
Well, I think, you know, well, there's lots of stuff that inspires me about this in terms of what possibilities and opportunities are. But the instant payment dictated by the smart contract, I really believe is going to radically and dramatically transform the marketplace in terms of joint ventures. I'm very excited about that. I'll tell you one of the things that I'm intrigued about, and you and I spoke about this, and I don't want to derail the basics, but I've always been a big fan of what I call philanthropreneurship, which is if we're going to create our business, it's important that we give back in some way, shape, or form. Kiva has always been my place of choice because it puts cash in the hands of entrepreneurs all over God's green earth. How complex?
Kiva has a 98% repayal rate.
Yes.
So even though there's unbanked people in Uganda that can start a craft store via Kiva, they repay almost 100%.
Which, by the way, makes North American standards look horrible. But one of the things I would love to explore, and I don't want to derail it, but I would love the smart contract process to include a contribution to, in my case, Kiva, or whatever it is that you know floated your boat that you wanted to take a stand for, all those sorts of things. And I'm just wondering, are you familiar with any platforms, those sorts of things that allow us to do that right in the embedded, like right in the smart contract that could make a difference there?
Well, if it's entirely for a charity, that's easier than having like part of each sale goes to a charity, but both are possible. Okay. I don't think both are possible on OpenSea yet. They have a max 10% creator royalty, but on PowerFan, we're building up to 50% royalty. So we can create NFTs that have that embedded. You just can't sell them on OpenSea yet. But once we have the PowerFan marketplace, then you can fully realize higher royalties. So that's what, and we're not the only ones that will have higher royalties enabled, but that's where it's going. But if you have just a charity and you do a collection and all of the transaction, like so you have the 10% creator royalty, or if all of the proceeds, just have one wallet that's that charity. So you create a wallet, it just takes a few minutes. Now that's the wallet connected to the NFT collection. Then you launch the collection, everybody buys it. And then as they buy and sell them, the wallet balance grows, and whoever is administering it or the NFT holders can decide as a DAO, as a decentralized autonomous group, what to do with the proceeds. So you could literally say, hey, who's doing this stuff? Like Greatness Foundation builds homes. They could do an NFT launch where like every so and so dollars builds a house for somebody that needs it in Mexico. So then you raise $10,000 and you're like, okay, here's 10 homes. Um, and then if as people buy and sell, you say 11 homes. We're up to 12 homes now that we've built. So you could track the impact and just have that collection be driven towards a charitable cause. So that's all possible now. But then to split and have like multi-party royalty splits will be very soon, like 2022.
Awesome. I love that. Cool, cool. Okay, I didn't want to derail that, but I just think, like, how many of you are interested in having a simple way to embed philanthropy into your business and your structure? Yeah, me too. And we've done it a bunch of times, and we've pledged portions of income and those sorts of things. And it's always an accounting freaking nightmare. And just another make work project I'm just inspired by. Okay.
But what else do you want to cover today?
Well, I would like to, most of our folks here are some form of coach, consultant, intellectual property entrepreneur, those sorts of things. I would really love to dive into the launch that you're going into, and how that particular person is utilizing a mastermind, a digital program, all those sorts of things through the use of NFTs. And Juliet, you have a question first, but if we could look at that, I think that'd be really incredibly significant as well.
Sure.
So the question I have is around the tracking for the affiliate sales. Right now our current model is, or one of the current models is, we'll go to those affiliates that have said, they've proven that, they're great in terms of rolling things out for us on our behalf to their community. And with this, it kind of turns it on its side, while resales and stuff will happen. Is there any way to track, let's say we have one person or two persons or three people that really are responsible for selling more than one?
Yeah, within your
That's kind of like a couple of questions in there, I think, but yeah.
Well, within your profile, we've talked about like, creating collections and all the, let me just get logged in here and I'll show you that, for example, Jay and what we're doing together, he has a profile where we can invite anybody in to get 100 free PFAN tokens. And then this is my profile. So I've signed up a bunch of people that very soon will be showing the tracking and the referrals in terms of people that have signed up, and then also the earnings generated from, so like transparently, I'm talking to all of you. If you guys buy NFTs on PowerFan at some point in the future, Jay and JVology will get a little bit of that because we have a partnership around this. So that's built into PowerFan and what we're doing. That's independent of launching your own NFT. You can have, be a referral partner and bring people in and just be like an evangelist for NFTs. And then if people sign up and create, you'll get a % of their revenue automatically. But then you can also see like your own purchases. So like I picked one up out of the collection and then it shows sold, so not available. And then links you over to the creator site. So just showing that like what we're doing, it's more than just mint an NFT. It's actually you can have your own profile, you can have your own collection, you can invite people in and get a % of their proceeds. And of course, me and our team, we're doing educating and training. So at some point, it won't be brand new to everybody. And then we can be minting, selling, doing NFT launches. And I think you guys will like how that lands, at least in your wallets.
Did that answer the question, Juliet?
It did. Yes, it did. And my other question, I'll wait till after you go through your example because it may be answered there. It's relative to the smart contract and what you write into that and what capabilities it allows or doesn't allow.
Let's look at this.
Not really something you'd probably ever be working with. unless you're going to start a, a blockchain engineering company.
No, it's not that I want to write it. That's why I'm saying let's go through the example. I just want to understand like what, like to Jay's point, right? Can you donate, to a charity? Is that something then you would write into the smart contract as you attach that to the NFT? I just want to understand the concept. But like I said, if we go through this, it will probably answer that, I think.
I mean, yeah, I've covered what I wanted to cover today. So I'll let Jay drive it, or anywhere else that we want to tune into, we can focus there.
Well, can we look at the lady who's doing the mastermind launch? Because that.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at that.
So here's the thing, gang, that I want, and what I believe is a powerful process that we should all be entertaining. So if you're writing a book, if you have a digital program, if you have a live event, if you have a coaching program, if you have a mastermind, that the NFT becomes a symbolic, powerful, trackable tool to transact all of those elements. And the truth of the matter is that the breadth of this is substantially broader than what I'm referring to at this moment in time. But if we can just start from that perspective, we have an image, we have a smart contract, we have bonuses that are tied to that entire process that we get to craft in a way, please hear this, that should create greater incentive, and this isn't true today, but it will be, ease of purchase and transfer that can build community and participation. So that's sort of the umbrella I want you to think about this in. And I think that this launch that Jesse's about to share with us is a good use case to begin to wrap your head and heart around it.
Perfect setup. So let's take a look at another launch here. So this is Lauren Kess and her coaching and mindset mastery. And so here we've got a profile, her profile that is, and there's 3 different types of NFTs, all centered around the same course. So what we've got is her Mindset Mastery for Business Owners course. And then what we've done here is there's a series of 25. So if you were to purchase now, you'd get number 2 of this series. And this is what we're calling the silver NFT. But basically, here's the course description. So here's where you would put your course description. 14 hours of training. It's a tool to help you up your game with mindset work and clients, access to future bonuses. You tell them what they're going to receive in this course. You'll learn all of these things. And this is important because, interestingly, the NFT description is like your sales page. So your sales page is built into the asset. And then if you purchase it, you can do it with PayPal, because you can buy these with, US dollars or with PayPal, or with MetaMask, or of course with your crypto wallet. So this is how she's selling a training course as an NFT, and bundled into that NFT as a self-contained asset is the description. So that's just interesting because it's a different paradigm than like, I've got my Kajabi account, I've got ConvertKit, I've got this. No, if you've got a wallet, a MetaMask wallet, you have this NFT, you've got the course. And then you can access the course on a browser or wherever you want. So then there's a gold version, which we see here.
Just before you go ahead, did everybody catch what he just said? Is that this potentially has the capacity to solve paywalls, potentially has the capacity to solve some of the CRMs and affiliate tracking components. It has the capacity to be another solution for shopping carts and that entire process of shopping carts, like all just built into the NFT. Like
Yep.
That's
and
sexy.
It is sexy. I agree. I mean, we've enabled, when we partner with somebody to do a launch, we do a 70-30 split in the creator's favor. But when we partner, we can enable PayPal, Venmo, credit card, as well as MetaMask. So it's a way to launch your course, to launch your program, get exposure to the NFT space that's exploding right now, but still have your clients pay with PayPal. On the back end, we get them their NFT delivered to their wallet. And the result is they've got the NFT in their wallet, even if they didn't know how to do that beforehand. So here's the $2,500 version of her course that
By the
also
way,
includes.
can I just pause you for a second? That just because this makes me smile. So while we're having this conversation, somebody just bought another one of our NFTs gone wild. And by the way, that was Howard, just bought number 8 of our 20. So just to be clear about it, it's working. Carry on.
Hold on, let's go back and let's see. Here's NFTs Gone Wild.
So, and not this one. No, because he is in one of our premium programs, so he bought one of the other ones.
Oh, okay. So
The
we're
one
here
for
on the
point
JVology
04.
collection.
Yeah.
Look at that. You guys see that number go up? Who saw it? Hands up if you saw that number go up. There's a new owner of the collection, registered on the blockchain and represented on the collection link, OpenSea.io/collection/JVology. And now back to the coaching launch. So you saw that there's a silver, a gold version. The main difference with the gold is 12 weeks of coaching. But here's the exciting little spicy bonus, right? There's an auction that only one person wins. Its starting bid is 1 Ethereum. And this is like the full enchilada. So 12 weeks of working in your business with your clients, with your team, building out mindset habits, practices, you name it, working with your clients. So all of this great stuff, basically everything that she's capable of delivering to a client, you win. And there's only one of them. And this is her dragon level coaching and mindset implementation offer that's available as an auction. And so taken together, this is her launch for her mindset mastery. And once there's 25 of these, there's 5 of these, and there's 1 of these. So that's 31, or 30 if you just count these. And once they're out, that's the only way that this course will exist. And that's what her promise is, that if you want the course, you got to get it here. And if these sell out, when they sell out, the only way you can get it is buying it from someone that has it. And so that's a real life illustration of how you can use NFTs and PowerFan platform to make offers like this, even in PayPal and US dollars.
Linnea.
My question's around how does this work then if we're like a service provider? I'm a bookkeeper for businesses. Would it work the same if I were to bundle like a collection of services and say this is, because I do package pricing. If I were to say this is my package and then have people buy it that way?
Exactly. So if we were going to work together, we'd want to look at what's that bundled offer that somebody pays one price when they buy the NFT. So in her case, it's $500 for a course, 14 hours of training, this and that. So that's the offer. And the ticket price is 500, or at the time it was 0.2 Ethereum or something. So you could have one offer, you could have an offer with a premium option, or like Lauren did, an offer, a premium option, and then a unique singular prize kind of thing. Or any other variation. But that's the beauty of it, is however you want to be delivering that service, or however you want to be, if it's like a 3-month or 1 tax season package worth of service, then you create that kind of sexy offer and then enroll people and they can use it at their leisure, or transact it and sell it. Royalty flows back to you. And now you've got proof of asset transference within your collection.
Can I just add to this? Because I want to share one other use case, and then I think Ivano's hand was up after that. So here's one of my plans in terms of JV. So yesterday I was speaking for my dear friend Sammy Blundell, who I think a bunch of you know, Sammy, in England. And when I'm doing presentations of that nature, my intention is to use the PowerFan platform to create. So I think it was one of her sort of smaller mastermind things. So I think there was like 35 people there, 40 people there. It's my intention every single time I speak to say, oh, and by the way, only for this presentation. And how many times have you heard that in a marketing bullshit? right? Only for this presentation, except this time it's true and it's proven and it's applicable with the blockchain. I have put together this bundle that includes A, B, C, and D, and Sammy has included this component of the bundle, D, E, F, and G, and it is only available through an NFT that proves when they go to the page, there are how many available? Precisely 3. When that is done, it is over. And in those cases, we would not allow any transferability of it. It is the one person who bought it, is the one person who gets it. And then there's none of this, what I'm going to call slippery marketing bullshit about it's like, yes, there's only 7, and then they sell 72 of them. It's like, we have created the NFT. This is what it is. It is never going to be offered again. So what it's going to mean is a little bit more work on our behalf of making sure that those offers and invitations are truly and genuinely unique and collaborative with our partner. And then it's like, you buy it now or you don't. This is how this goes. And that is
QR code on your slide. You can literally have that all set up and be like, here it is on your slide. People take out their phone, scan it, and then they can get it in real time on the stage. That's where we'll be like by Q1 of next year. And how exciting is that, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so passionate about that use case. And as I was talking with Sam, he's like, oh, I can't wait to get this done. Anyway, Ivano, you're up next, brother. Does that use case make sense to you, gang? Yeah, I think it's a big one. Go ahead, my friend.
Just a quick question with respect to PayPal and buying with PayPal. Is this something that is exclusive to PowerFan, or are you doing that on the backside for your customers?
That's exclusive. That's only if we're so we have 3 ways really 2 main ways that you can use the platform. It's either you start using it if you have familiarity, like I'm training you guys now, and that's free to use. It's 2.5% transaction fee, or we partner with creators to do a launch, and that's our white glove service here. So we do a 70-30 split. So you keep 70, and that's when we set up a whole launch, where people can pay with dollars or pay with PayPal. Then in that case, yes, we're collecting that during the launch, and then we settle with you as the creator right when the launch is over. For the cash, for the crypto, it's instantaneous, like we've discussed. Any other questions?
I think Paul was asking, how do we post in the system? Paul was asking, and I'll put a link for the account to PowerFan here just momentarily as well. And I think Elizabeth is up next.
Yeah, thank you. So with Lauren Kess's thing, like she's allowing transferability, but it comes with live coaching, and so does she have to wait to get clients and until somebody sells the thing that they bought, or like?
No, I mean, she's not obligated to the idea would be, if you're doing the NFT, that if someone wants to work with you, go buy my NFT. But if someone's like, I want to work with you, here's a check, there's nothing that prevents her from working with that person.
But like
the idea would be you funnel people that are interested in a specific way to work with you through the NFT launch. And if you draw a hard line with it, then you'll sell more NFTs and get those in circulation. But it's not exclusive.
But if I allow transferability and I sell out, like I have 12, spaces and I sell out and I'm working with 12 people, that's all I can work with. But then meanwhile, while I'm working with those 12 people, others have sold theirs on, and then those people are going to expect me to be available. But what if I'm not available
Well, that's the whole point, is you don't have to be. If you can set it up where somebody burns the NFT or they send you the NFT and that's how they cash in their coaching. But that's another way where you just burn it, or you say the live coaching is only available to the first owner of this NFT. Everybody else gets access to training, recording, pre-recorded content. So the bottom line is, whatever you want to offer, put it in the terms of the description, and then that's how you can roll.
Okay, great.
Can I clarify? I just want to clarify this because this is the second comment on that same note that just in 2 days that I've had from different people. So here's what I think people aren't 100% clear about. Our model trying to teach you guys how to do this included transferability. But you'll notice on our transferability, there is no one-on-one coaching. Our transferability did two things. We wanted you to actually have the experience of going through the cycle entirely, and we wanted more people in JVology Live, and we wanted to be able to pay you great money, so we paid you the 90%. So she has an unusual circumstance and situation that obviously she has a plan for, but don't make shit up in your heads about it. It's like, oh, I'm stuck with this and what would happen. All that. You decide. You get to write it, you get to code it, you get to carve it into the blockchain, and it's only how you want it to be. That's it. And I just can't emphasize that enough, given the actually, this isn't the second, it's the third question of that nature I've had just in 24 hours. Do it however you want, Elizabeth, and protect your time is the short answer to that.
Thank you.
You betcha.
I've got 2 minutes.
Okay.
You got questions with Juliet and Carol?
Okay, go fast.
So with the example that you just shared, are you saying that you will be able to integrate it with an LMS platform for the teaching? Because I thought I heard you say that they would just click on within the NFT or within that platform, they would click on it and be able to access the course. So that means there would be an integration with some teaching platform.
Oh yeah, eventually we'll have a native way to deliver actual training content.
Okay.
But right now, if it's already hosted somewhere or you can put it anywhere, then the unlockable content either gives them an access code or a direct link, or you can house the content anywhere from Dropbox to Kajabi to everything in between.
Okay.
But the NFT unlocks the way for them to consume the course content wherever that lives on the web.
Okay. And then my other question, and it's just so that I understand this case study, because I know it's depends on what works for you for your business, but I thought I heard you say that she was saying, okay, this is all in my collection, whatever the number is, 20, whatever she created. And that if you don't get it, the only way you're going to get it is if you buy it from someone.
Yep.
So is she saying she's not ever going to create any other course content that's like that and do another launch of another collection?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
solely, okay. And that's just her model.
Yeah. And that's
Okay.
what I would recommend. You create the exclusivity by saying, here's this amazing content, this experience, this whatever. The only way to get it is to be an NFT holder. And there's only 25 of them. There's only 50 of them. There's only 100 of them. So once they're gone, the only way to get it is to buy it from someone else. And if the demand for that increases over time, then people are buying and selling those NFTs at a higher price.
Mhm.
And that's the everyone wins scenario.
Okay. Thank you.
Jay, take us out. Final 60 seconds.
Carol has a question.
You Blaze. I don't. He has to be gone. So Carol, have you got 30 seconds, or can I answer it?
Go ahead.
Well, you go ahead. That's what I'm saying. So Jesse's
Oh,
going to
okay.
Blaze.
It'll probably be January before I understand this, but once you've sold one of these, I am wondering, how do you have the information? How do you know who bought it? How do how would you deliver anything based upon this?
So in a simple method and means, he showed this before, is that there's always unlockable content. That unlockable content takes you to a form or an access point that is the integration into your ordinary systems. So I can put a link in here that would demonstrate it for you guys. And it just says the NFTs, you fill out all the blanks, it goes into Infusionsoft, and everything else continues on in the same way that it always did.
Yep, so here it is. So reveal unlockable content, form, and then back to Web 2.0, a Google form. So we're not reinventing the entire internet in one fell swoop, but NFTs are the way to sell and transfer Web 3.0 assets that unlock legacy Web 2.0 training content, etc. All right, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, and see y'all soon.
Thank you, Jesse. And by the way, gang, if anyone wants to test his platform, I put the link in the chat. Go check it out. Go play with it. It is absolutely exceptional. And I have I got a long list of use cases that I'm going to be giving you a hard time with about over the next year or so, Jesse. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks so much. See you soon.
Save the chat with the 3 little dots on the bottom.
Get that link.
Have
Yeah.
a great day, everybody.
All right, gang. Is there anything else before we wrap up? I just wanted to point out that I put in the chat because I've been collecting, how do I put this? NFTs can be incredibly overwhelming. We have been focusing on one use case, one practical application, which is fundamentally tickets and the capacity to resell with a smart contract. But I put a long list of a whole variety of things in with examples that you can go and snoop at and check to see what other people are doing. So if you want to do any of those sorts of things, that might be a cut and paste, or make sure you save the chat, because there is, quite literally a little bit of research there. And each and every one of these are just really powerful and unique methods and means to utilize NFTs. And the most difficult part and the most exciting part is that I think that the actual use, integration, application of NFTs, we're probably only seeing maybe 1%, 2% of what's actually possible and what we are going to be faced with in the next 12 to 24 months. But it's good to have our eyes open. All right. Any last thing I can say or support with in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, I'm going to give you one more resource here. This is also a great video that outlines a bunch of those elements.
Juliet would like you to send her some wine.
More,
Just
please.
version.
More, please. All right.
I need to cool my brain cells down.
And then I will also put the OpenSea collection here. It was fun that Howard got his bought while we were in the midst of this. So that is the OpenSea collection if you are just part of our public programs and any of those sorts of things. And if you, what's the other OpenSea link? See collection. Just give me one shaking. And that's where you can get a VIP ticket to the event. You can get transferability. You can get all of the bonuses associated. And by the way, current VIP ticket is $1,000. You can do it this way and do it basically for about $400 and get all of the benefits plus a little bit more. And then OpenSea, JVology. Just give me NFTs gone wild. That's what I'm looking for. NFT gone wild. And then folks who happen to be in any of our premium programs, so that would apply to you, Ivano, and Juliet, and a couple of other people here. You go and get the one that is fundamentally free. And please understand that in both cases, there's gas fees, which is the money that is paid to the miners who actually write to the blockchain. There's nothing we can do about that at this moment in time. It's just part of the cost of doing business in this process. But be clear, the ticket right now, the VIP ticket is $1,000. Basically, you do like $400 and get a whole bunch more benefits and perks and all of those pieces. Now,
I already have mine.
good.
I'm number 6.
Yay. Now, the only other thing that I was going to suggest is that we'll call this the end of the Global Lounge. For those of you who have not got yourselves registered and set up for JVology Live December 1st to 3rd, please do so. For those of you who have NFTs, and I know some of you think they're going to be collector's items and you're not selling them, feel free to pass them along. And honestly, what makes me smile about that is I think, years from now, it's like the very first NFT we created, I think will actually probably have some value to my mother if she's still alive. So I'm just going to get you her phone number and see, if you can negotiate with her.
Sentimental value.
But I do think it's going to be interesting. Like if I think back to the very first television series that I produced, like that, I don't even know where it is. Like I would give anything to have access to that right now. I have no clue where it is. So I think this is a good way of tracking stuff that could be fun and entertaining. So I have a question, and by the way, Michelle, absolutely zero obligation for you on this behalf. I promised Michelle that I would help her connect some dots with wallets and those sorts of things, which I know some of you are struggling with. I could stop the recording and help Michelle, and if somebody's in that spot where you're stuck with the wallet and those sorts of things, maybe I could help more than one person at the same time. Are you open to that, Michelle?
Absolutely. And if you could record it while you're doing it, that'd be awesome so that I can share it with people that are.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I'm going to stop the Global Lounge recording and then we'll start a private one. Okay. So I'm gonna stop the recording.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Americans.
Oh, thank you.
All right, stop that. Stop cloud